Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise today to speak about the budgetary success of our government. And before I talk about that, Mr Deputy Speaker, I want to speak about Wendy in the member for Kingsford Smith's electorate. And isn't Wendy lucky that she wasn't confronting the sorts of cuts that Labor made? $23 billion in family tax benefit A and B over 6 years. And this is an example of the unprincipled sort of action that we are seeing from the Labor Party. What an absolute joke. Poor Wendy. We are investing record amounts in health, education, and now, if you consider our childcare reforms, standing up for those who earn the least, providing people who earn $65,000 and less with an 85% subsidy. So I say to Wendy, you are very fortunate that you are not living under a Labor federal government which trashed our economy, which trashed our budget, which drove up the debt and the deficit, and is now not in the national interest, working with the government, to maintain our AAA rating. The Labor Party does not care about the budget. It does not care about this economy, Mr Deputy Speaker. It does not care about a AAA rating. All it does, whatever it takes, as the member for Swan has said, whatever it takes. And the biggest challenge that we confront as a government is running the economy is members opposite. And we heard the member for Rankin talk about slaying them in reference to the member for Deacon's contribution. Talk about slaying them. He was the architect of 4 surpluses that were never delivered. 4 surpluses by the member for Lilly when he was the Treasurer that were never delivered. It was an absolute shocker, and the Labor Party went to the last election promising $16 billion more in deficit than our government.
Economic geniuses.
As the member for Budgetary said, economic geniuses. Mr Deputy Speaker, our national economic plan is underpinned by a determination to grow jobs and to build a stronger economy. And what we have done, we've introduced multinational tax avoidance and a diverted profits tax bills. And I refer to the member for Fenner, and even if I accept the member for Fenner's proposition, the fact of the matter is, this is an example of where the Labor Party have been disgraceful in its hypocrisy. There's plenty more. There's plenty more to come. The hypocrisy is as long as the eye can see. And the fact that the Labor Party oppose our efforts to combat multinational tax, which in this year alone is going to deliver a $2 billion saving, as forecast by the ATO, the Labor Party has stood in the way of delivering $2 billion in savings. And even the Greens were more economically responsible than Labor. And you don't have, Mr Deputy Speaker, the Labor Party does not have the guts, does not have the courage to support us on the policies that they know will deliver savings. So I say, when we stand up for this economy,
if he wants to speak in the next
the
bill,
Labor Party has a responsibility to act responsibly in the national interest. And at every single turn, the Labor Party is wrecking this economy and our government's efforts to rein in the budget and to run the economy responsibly. Consider also our efforts to cut corporate tax rates. In the UK, it's 20%. In Canada, it's 26.5%. In the US, it's now going down to 15%. And yet, despite the fact that the Labor Party previously supported corporate tax cuts, they said it was a Labor thing. Well, the only thing that's a Labor thing is hypocrisy. The only thing that is a Labor thing is a focus. And the question, I'll take the interjection, why am I so angry? I am angry. We're all angry. You know what? The Labor Party is so reckless that it opposes $5 billion of its own savings. And we're trying to run this government and run this economy responsibly. You know why we're angry? Because we're dealing with the worst opposition ever. Bob Hawke and Paul Keating would be ashamed of the pathetic standards that we see from this Labor Party. We are focused on jobs and a strong economy and start operating in the national interest.